guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be going through another another sketchbook from when I was at university. Spoiler alert, because it says pretty much studio practice number 1, 2017 to 2018, which is the years of my final university degree. We're just going to crack on with it. I can briefly remember sort of what this sketchbook was about because it was the most fresh in my mind, and it was definitely the year that I realised it's about to go down. This is the final year of my university and my freedom in the nicest way possible, so I'm just going to crack on with it. As always, I have overdone it on the drawing side. Can you see all that? Just about. I'll move you up a bit. It's basically a large sketch I must have done during one of my first years because I remember something very similar to that. Oh yes. Now I can remember. So, in the summer of that year, between second year and third year, I was given a scholarship for money to go travelling towards some place, and I decided to go Turkey. The reason why I was for Turkey is because 1, it was very cheap and I could get a lot out of it, and 2, there was quite a lot of ruins and history compared to the usual Roman or Greek aesthetic. So I think these are just a couple of drawings. Remember that being like part of a tower. And then some sketches from holiday. Lovely warm-up drawing and some photographs from the event. So those are the little buildings that I saw. Because there's actually Greek history, because you're so close to Greece, I didn't feel the need to go to Greece because we did end up taking a day trip over to Kos, which was one of the hottest days ever. I think it was like 50 degrees, and every chance we took, we were in the shade. Ironically, there was some marble bits and pieces around, which if you lay down on in the shade, it was a lot cooler than it was walking about. But it was such a lovely time to go there. And some really funky plants and random bits and pieces. Lovely mosaics on the floor that have been left. Got some of the memories sliding back to me already. Got a black painted paper, and I was doing a white outline, which I quite like actually. I quite like that it's got missing bits of paint on it and that it's not perfect as well. Another drawing and piece of paper, which I have no idea. First group crit, black, white. Oh, okay. So this was when we were doing a group critique, and one person would take notes when people were having a conversation. And I've got a thinking page with just some ideas about what the hell I'm doing. And I believe Emma Stippen, if I'm pronouncing the surname right, she actually came in, and she was one of an artists that came in and did an artist talk within the university, and I was very, very impressed with her because she does these massive landscape drawings which were just so, I think they're like quite small, but then she blows them up to larger scale, and they're just really overpowering but lovely to just watch and wonder about. It's kind of the same feeling of Mark Rothko. And then we've also got someone who I went to go work in London for a couple of days as a volunteer. They pay for your transport and costs, but you don't actually get paid for it. And she just did these really lovely Islamic, I believe it's Islamic paintings, and just stuck with me. Rachel Reed, Anthony Gormley, and so Kiefer the usual people always in here in my sketchbook because I just can't get enough of them. Some more photographs from Turkey. You might recognise a couple of these because this one I've done a painting of. This little picture here. As well as some other sections. Which is quite weird to see. I've got some more pictures. So week 2 drawings aren't going so well. We'll break and eventually to settle on what I want from my drawings. At the moment it is the perspective that needs to be nailed on. Circles for this topic aren't suitable throughout my research. Images, squares seem to be the next biggest thing. Completing Turkish composition struck. Sculpture will be dealt with, but for now things I need to buy is canvas gold paints. Some more I just researched. I think I was just doing a lot of research and just trying to find out what was good enough for this project. It's a very scary time, I feel like, because you can feel the pressure of when you're starting a project and you just haven't done anything physically, you're just doing a lot of research. It's a bit like when you get a new sketchbook and the first page is always terrifying because it's basically what sets off the project. I don't think I did anything art-wise because I would have probably put it in. I did a couple of drawings at the very start, but that's about it really. Oh, okay, so I have got a drawing. So this is the circle drawing that I was on about, which I just did a load of mark making in. This is the second circle drawing that I am creating based on the marks within my Turkey images. Okay, so starting to look very intense and dramatic even more when I remove the circle from the practice, as this is the measurement of history and structural outline almost man-made. Prefer this version to the first, as one created as they were just marks rather than an image made from marks. Plus the negative space is put to better use here. Could consider going into print just to see where this could run off to. I'd like to be able to get material names for the items needed for after university. Okay, so already I was looking at how I wanted to progress after university. I remember sitting in my university and being like, oh my god, this is the first project of the final year, and just thinking, being very overwhelmed by the thought of it, because it was so life-changing, because it was literally your whole life you basically told you're going to go to university and then you're going to find a job and then that's it. So I kind of felt like I was at the end, stepping stone, and it was terrifying for me. And then some more drawings going into week 3. I think I was going around the same concept as my drawings from last year, which worked to some degree. And I was trying to do the black and white again. I think these are the drawings that I'm saying. The only one that I like is actually, that you can't even see it, is this one at the very bottom. That's the one of the at the very front. Definitely in a state of panic. Oh, okay, so then I started to, I remember there was a gallery entry for the actual studio space, and I was thinking, what could I do? And I wanted to do plaster blocks, but carve them out. Okay, so that must be the first drawing that I did, because that was just random mark making, whereas the second one was purposeful mark making. I have some more sculpture ideas. This is fluid painting. Some more ideas. I think this is from when I did the practice. For sculpture is becoming, can't even read that. Sculpture is, I can't even read that either. Drawing techniques needed to be encountered further as much hasn't changed in my space. This doesn't mean I haven't progressed in other areas of art. Keith was there. You can definitely tell I'm panicking because I haven't laid out the sketchbook as much as the others that you've probably seen, which is kind of interesting actually. And then we've got that block, which has got this really nice block line, and then the rest of it's carved out. Oh, I know what this is. I remember what I did with it. Some more drawings. Yeah, I remember what I did with this now. So this block up here, you can see it, hopefully that might help. I ended up doing a cast in it, which is what this mould is. So when I got that mould out, I cast it into plaster, which then created I also cast the outside of it as well. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Let's look at what happens when lightning hits the sand as well. Lots and lots of information. Casting within casting. That's quite cool. Oh, I've even got a little picture of my studio space. Can you see it? Wow. Next door to me was a lady called Jo. Got some more. This must have been like an art history project bit. Oh yeah, it must have been like a, what would you call it? Art history. Oh my god, I don't know why that took me so long to remember. I don't know why, but I've got my second year bit in here. So that I must have kept this for my third year so I could read through it and then progress towards it after. So I'll just read a bit after. After deciding firstly to only do a drawing based module, it expanded dramatically out into sculpture but still remained a point of this module. Mark making has definitely become the main focus in my module, with alongside texture, scale and composition, sculpture has taken off in its own direction, making something vast and quite overwhelming. When I think about it, drawing isn't lagging behind, it is almost there out. I can't quite put my finger on what it is doing. I know it is mark making based, black backgrounds and single lines, but it is needed that the characteristics to take it further. I wanted to finalise what my practice is by choosing a subject area of my interest, mark making. From the end point, it has slowed me down. Sculpture, being everything is hand carved and moulded, it's limited the amount of work that I have, but it still has produced much interesting because I have put in the time in. Missed printmaking, so selling art shop was perfect excuse for me to go back to the print room. Next studio module, I want to finalise my drawing technique into working practice that is themed composition through layering, texture, and mark making, whereas sculpture I want to push as far as it can go, making something overpowering, demanding, and attention. The current sculpture piece is next door unlabeled. As if I put that. Wow. Before we know it, we're at the end of the sketchbook. Like I said, you can definitely tell that this sketchbook was a sketchbook of mess, because I am clearly panicking. And the fact that I've managed to fill a whole sketchbook within one section, and to be honest, I think this is one of 3 for this project, so we'll see how it goes. I'm actually quite excited to see the next one, because there's a lot of things I can't remember about this project, and I'm kind of gutted with, where is it? That piece. I didn't keep it because it's beautiful. The really sharp makings and then the carvings next to it, it's just lovely. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did reliving my life again. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my very best to answer them. If you require anything else, please let me know, and also don't forget to check out my links in my description box. There's also my eBay selling account and also a donations page if you'd like to donate to me. You're more than welcome to, and thank you if you do. But until then, I shall see you guys later. Bye!